Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day one, officially, of our daily creative challenge for Photoshop. Very good to have you here. I'm Kathleen. I'm going to be your host. I'm going to be walking you through today's workflow of blend modes. Very exciting. We'll jump into that in a moment, but first, I want to say hello to everybody. We've got Valder. Hello. He has my name with, I think, 8 E's in it. Kathleen. What's up, Valder? Good to see you. We've got Adam, whoop whoop, in the chat. Alberto with his classic "was up" in the chat. What's up, Alberto? Good to see you. Aurelia, hello, hello. Sam Peterson, Sean. Yeah, no spin. Okay, here you go, Sean. Here's the spin. I was trying to mix it up a little bit. I don't want to be too boring, you know? You know what I mean? What's up, Jesse? James. James is from China. Good to have you, James. Anna, hello, hello. All right, so if this is your first time with the Daily Creative Challenge, this is the perfect place to start because it is day one. But this is a great way to build your Photoshop skills over 9 challenges over the course of 2 weeks. So this challenge is running from January 6th, which is yesterday, to January 17th, which is not this Friday, but the next Friday. So we are going to be working on one challenge every single day. And we're going to be covering basic skills in Photoshop, but it's also a little bit flexible. So if you're more advanced, you can always use these fundamental skills and make something a little more complicated. What's up, Lucas? Good to see you. Ozma, hello, hello. Ralph, my friend, good to see you. Carrie. Alrighty. I do want to also say that we have a full day of Adobe Live coming up after me, so if you stick around right after me, Anne is going to be back with some more hand lettering and illustration. Amazing work yesterday. Please stick around for that at 9:30. And then Howard is going to be starting his day one of his daily creative challenge for XD. So I'm doing the Photoshop one, but if you want to learn some screen design and UI UX design, stick around at 11:30 to learn more about that. And then Paula is going to be back with more XD prototyping at noon Pacific time. So we have a whole day. Stick around, grab some popcorn if you're at work. Put us on your second monitor. Make us really small. Just listen in. It's like a little podcast, a design podcast. That's visual. It's not a podcast. Jason, good to see you. All right, so if you do want to register for the challenge, you can come to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop and click the big blue, beautiful button that says register for the challenge. That would be right here, but since I'm already registered, it says chat with the community. So each day you're going to receive a challenge. You can join community chat, which is Discord. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We have this daily live show every morning, 9 a.m., bright and early. And then after you post your work in Discord to get feedback, you're going to post it on Behance when it is all done, for a final portfolio piece at the end of 2 weeks. Pamela, hello. Valder says I'm doing exactly this. You have us on your second monitor, very small at work. That's awesome. So every day we're going to have a new challenge. Blend modes is today, and we even have some starter files for you. So if you click that link, it'll take you to a Dropbox where you can download the template for today. You don't have to use it. I'm gonna say that again. You do not have to use the template. You don't have to do exactly what I do. The goal is for you to just learn about blend modes and design a stamp. So however you want to do that, that's great, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. You can also come here to the bottom and click this subscribe button to get notified for all future challenges. We have one pretty much running constantly. So this one goes until the 17th, and then someone else will be hosting another one for 2 weeks, and another one, and another one, and I might be back in February. Who knows? Could happen. So stick around. We have lots of awesome ones. Okay, so let's jump into the actual workflow. Let's close that. This is what we're going to be working on today. So this is my stamp, and it's literally just letters, or if you've watched these daily creative challenges before, you know that I get letters and numbers mixed up, and I think I'm the only person in the world who that happens to. So these are just numbers that are layered on top of each other and have different blend modes. So they have this cool 3D or layered effect. But first, let's jump to the template. So if you downloaded this, you can just open it in Photoshop by double-clicking on the file, and it will open like this. And you'll notice that this isn't a stamp. This is a mock-up of a hand holding a postcard with a stamp on it. The goal is to put our stamp right here. So we're going to mock it up. We're going to give a little bit of context for real life. That's really helpful with designs. If you're making a poster, it's helpful to show it actually on a wall somewhere to give a little context for your designs. So the way that we're going to use this is if we come over here to the layers panel, you'll notice that this layer says double click to design the stamp. Now you'll notice this little icon right here. This is the smart object icon. We're going to be using smart objects a lot, pretty much every single day. So this is a good time to introduce you to them. Smart objects are basically kind of like a mini design within your design. So I'll show you. I'm going to double click on this thumbnail and it's going to take me to another Photoshop document. Now if I change the color of this, say we change it to black, and I go to File, Save, when I go back to my template, it's changed to black. So they are directly linked, and when you save something here, it gets updated here. It's really, really helpful for making changes that are non-destructive and changing things on the fly. Say if you're working with a client and they say, I want that to be blue. You say, no problem, Susan. I see you in chat. No problem, Susan. I will change that to blue. And it's super duper easy. So we're going to be designing and then applying our stamp here. So again, I'll close this. The way that you get into the smart object is you double click the thumbnail over in the layers panel, and that'll take you right into it. Alexander says this is one of your favorite fonts. Yay, yeah, Jakshmi, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a very cool Bauhaus font that we're going to be using, but you don't have to use it. I have it downloaded from Adobe Fonts. You can use whatever you want. The first thing I'm going to do is erase the design me and just type a 2 because we're making a 2020 stamp to celebrate the new year. But we're going to be using our different numbers as different forms. So it's not just going to be 2020 written out. We're going to be doing 2020, kind of in a cool design. What's up, Larissa and Kita? Good to see you. Alrighty, so we changed our typeface. We used the type tool a little bit yesterday, but if you need a refresher, the type tool is over here in your toolbar. You can just click it to activate it, and then you can edit your text as needed. But we're just going to do 2. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can change the size of your typeface, but you can change it here in your properties. You can go back to the type tool, highlight it and change it here. Or a quick and easy way is do Command T or Control T if you're on a PC and just increase the size. You can hold Shift to non-constrain it or just drag it out constrained like this so it doesn't get skewed at all. What's up, Jennifer? Good to see ya. All right, so let's make this 2 pretty big. We're gonna commit that. We're gonna change our typeface to my chosen artsy typeface. And I'm going to change my color to pink. Let's use my swatches up here that I have saved just so it's easy. All right, easy peasy. Now here is a shortcut that we're going to be using a lot over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to hold Option or Alt on a PC, and you'll notice when I do that, I get this little duplicate cursor up here to appear. So hold that, click, and drag to make a duplicate. We're going to change this to 0. Perhaps. Perhaps not. There we go. And let's just select both of these layers by clicking one, holding Shift, clicking the other, Command T to transform, and drag it out to fill the whole stamp. I promise we will get into blend mode soon, but we need to lay out our letter number forms first. Someone else in chat said that they get letters and numbers mixed up too. Thank you for helping me feel seen and understood. Alrighty, let's drag that down a little bit. We're trying to fill up the frame as much as we can, but for this 0, we're going to change that to dark blue. Very cool. All right, let's add the other 2 numbers. Let's go back to our text tool and type 2 We're going to do Command T to transform it again, but we're going to grab a corner and drag it on its side. Love it. Drag it out. Fill up that shape. So this is what I meant by we are using our numbers as forms. They are obviously numbers. You can see that it says 2 and 0, but they aren't acting like normal numbers. They're not in a straight line left to right like they're read in the English language. We're using them more as graphics, so we can play with them a little bit. And that makes it a little more fun, I think. All right, we're nudging this around with the arrow keys. Perfect. We're going to change that to pink. Going to hold Option or Alt to duplicate that like we did previously. Drag it up here. And we're going to make that say 0. All right, perfect. Zooming in by doing Command plus, but you can also use the zoom tools here. I'm going to use my arrow keys again to nudge this around, or maybe just move it with the move tool. Command minus to zoom out. Great, okay, now let's actually start playing with blend modes. How are you able to listen with this quietness or quickness? Asma, let me know. If it's too quiet, if you're using headphones, hopefully you can turn it up a little bit. Alrighty, so let's actually start using our blend modes. We're going to start with our 0 right here. Let's make a duplicate of this layer. We could use our duplicate workflow that we've been using with the Option key, but I can also just grab this layer and drag it down to the new layer icon, and now we have a copy of it. Now you can't tell that there's a copy of it because it's the same color, so let's change the color to this nice yellow that I have. Let's drag it to be a little bit offset. And let's start playing with blend modes. So if you don't know what blend modes are, they are ways to filter your layers on top of each other. And I'll just show you what that means instead of saying it with words, because this is Photoshop, we're visual. So up here in the layers panel, this is where all of your blend modes are. If I click, you have a live preview of what they do, which is very cool. So up here, we have a bunch of darkening blend modes. These are more lightening blend modes. These have to do with kind of saturation, and you can play with them and see which ones you like most. So I do like this linear light one. Kind of brings back that yellow, but also adds a little bit of orange, but I also like multiply because it just adds that orange without the yellow. What do you guys think? Should we do the yellow? I like that. It adds 3 shapes instead of just having 2. Kita says, I love blend modes. Yes, you do. Can't wait to see what you make with them. All right, let's do it again with the 2 down here. So we are going to duplicate this layer by dragging it down to the new layer icon all the way over there in the corner. Now we have a copy. Let's change it to yellow. We can nudge it with our arrow keys. You see it moving. Whoa, it's right there. And let's change our blend mode to linear light again. Cool. Now magic is going to happen. I'm going to go to File, Save, and when I open my template, we have our newly designed stamp. Very cool. There it is. But we're not done yet. Let's do a little more blending moding. What is the correct verb? Tell me, chat. All right, the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a texture all over the entire design to bring it together, because the 0 here and the 2 here have a little dimension, but the big 2 and the big 0 don't. So let's add some texture to bring it all together. On a new layer that I'm gonna make by clicking the new layer icon, I'm gonna come over here to my brush tool. This is what it looks like. Boom. I'm gonna use some brushes that I already have downloaded. You can easily get these if you have a CC subscription by going to the cog, click Get More Brushes, and you can download whatever packs you want from Kyle Webster. Very cool. But I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to paint on top. Now this is loud and distracting and does not look very good. I 100% agree. Let's change the blend mode and change that a little bit. So if you go to our blend mode, maybe go to multiply. Now we have a kind of cool splatter paint, spray paint effect. I like this one because it keeps all of the colors cohesive. So like, for example, when I'm using multiply on this blue 0, the splatters kind of turn green because it's yellow on top of blue and it's making it darker, so it's turning a dark green. But if we go to color burn, it's kind of taking more of the color that's beneath it and applying it to that texture. So now we just have a dark blue on top of a blue. You can play with more of these. Maybe you want to lighten them a little bit. That's cool. It's only applied to the letters, numbers. How many times I'm going to do it? We need to have a counter. How many times do I get letters and numbers mixed up? That's nice. It's pretty subtle. What do we think? What do we think? Samia says these are really nice designs. Thanks, Samia. Can't wait to see what you make on Discord. That's cool too. I think we're going to stick with color burn just to keep it subtle. Go to File, Save, and there we go. We have our stamp. Now the cool thing about this template is we can also go in here and change any of the colors that we want in the rest of it. So say we want to change the color of the hand. We come down here to hand color, click on the swatch, double click. We can change how it looks. And we can play with the background as well. So double click on the orange swatch, maybe make it black. That is bright, bright like my shirt. Maybe we'll do a blue. Is that hurting anyone's eyes? It's kind of vibrant, right? Let's just stick with the normal orange that I have here. And then we can also change the font if we'd like to. So say we want to change this to a different typeface, a little Behance Noue, it's a good one. But let's go back to Jakshmi and keep it cohesive. Okay. Let's get this exported. I'm going to export both of these. I'm going to export my smart object design and also the mockup so that I can show both on my Behance portfolio. I could just say character and then I don't have to worry what it is. Pamela, you're a genius. I will do that from now on. So we'll do quick export as PNG. Get this exported. Let's just call this stamp day 1. Save it. And then get this exported as well. I'm also going to crop this a little bit by typing C or clicking the crop tool. I just want to keep it a little bit more svelte, a little more slight. There we go. Export. We could also do export as if we want to have a little more control over our export settings. This way we can choose what format it is, how big it is, the scale, and if we want to do multiple exports at multiple sizes. Alrighty, let's export this. We'll just do it on our desktop and I'll name it day 1 final stamp. Stamp of approval. It burned a hole right through your retina. I'm sorry, Jason. That was a really bright color pattern. I know. Alrighty, let's jump back to my profile and get this uploaded on Behance. So remember yesterday we made our cover image for our daily creative challenge. And someone earlier, I think it was Aurelia, was saying, has Kathleen ever done a daily challenge before? I was like, yeah, girl, this is my 8th one. I have all of them right here, looking spiffy. All right, let's jump into here, hover over the cog, click edit, and upload it. So we have our first day. Very good. We're gonna do our stamp. And I'm going to shift click to choose both of them. And I think I want to put the stamp design on top of the mockup, or maybe no. I think I want them stacked like this. So we have the mockup here and then we show the full one here. Looks good. Now remember, in our settings, we need to make sure that discoverability, we have PS Daily Challenge listed so that we can find each other's work when we search on Behance. But before you even get to this Behance step, if you want to get feedback from the community, if you want to get it from me or other professionals or mentors or your fellow community members, make sure you join Discord. So if you come to Discord and if you want to join us, it's bit.ly/psdiscord, capital P, capital S. There she is. That will give you a link to join on your desktop or your phone or on the web even. You don't have to download anything. You can just do it on your browser. It's going to give you a great way to communicate with the community when this live stream is over, because it's only 25 minutes. We're going to be done in 5 minutes. So once you join Discord, you can come here to the feedback channel. We'll zoom in so I'll show you where I am. Right there, feedback. We're going to go to current challenge because we are posting for the current challenge. If you're working, say it's tomorrow and you're working on today's challenge, you might post it in past challenges. But here we go, current challenge. I'm gonna post my work and get some feedback so that if I need to make any tweaks, I can do that and then re-upload onto Behance. So the way that you would upload an image onto Discord, maybe I can move a little bit out of the way. Nope. Paco's got me. Thank you. Teleporting at the speed of light with Studio Magic. All right, the way that you're going to add images on Discord is click this plus button. That's going to allow you to choose an asset from your computer. I'm going to just choose the stamp. I'm not super worried about the mockup, but I'm going to ask for some feedback about my stamp. So this is where you can ask for specific help. Let's say, do you think the texture is bold enough? Or bold enough, or should I go for a different blend mode? Thanks. Always good to be polite. All right, so now it is uploaded. I've asked for a specific feedback, and hopefully some of you will help me. I'm honestly wondering about this because I feel like the texture is a little bit subtle, but is that a bad thing? I don't know. I have a too much gene. I want to take things to the next level, and sometimes I just need to put on the brakes. So maybe this is fine. You tell me. All right, and then while you are waiting for feedback on Discord, you can come over here to chat. You can see what people are talking about. Ben says, totally new here. I'm gonna say, welcome, Ben. You're in the right place. Smiley face. That matches my shirt. Perfect. And then when you're over here in the chat, you can also be asking questions. We have some technical questions going on here. You can ask for career advice, all kinds of good stuff. You can even go into past challenges and check out what people are posting from previous daily creative challenges. Dee, welcome. You made it with 2.5 minutes to spare, but we'll have Anne coming on next, so stick around for that. All right, if you do want to check out other people's work on Behance that they're not posting on Discord, you can come to search, and you can search the hashtag PS Daily Challenge. I think I have it saved as a bit.ly as well. Yes, you can also go to bit.ly/PS entries, and that'll take you right to it. It's my little cheat code. You're welcome. And then you can see all of the most updated challenges. This one's cool from Gareth. It has is that a red panda? Is that what those are called? Beatrice, hello. You're not late. You're just in time for Anne's stream next. Cecilia wants to know, how did you apply the texture to just the numbers? That's a great question. I'm going to show you super quickly since we have a little bit of time. So the way that I applied it just to the numbers is purely just because I chose the blend mode color burn. Not all of the blend modes will do this. So as you saw, like when we did screen, it applies everywhere, but I'll show you a surefire way to just apply it to the characters. So one super easy way to do that is we're going to click our topmost character layer, scroll to the bottom, shift and click the very bottom one. And I'm gonna click this icon here to make a group. It's a little folder icon. So now I have a group. They're all grouped within the same folder. I can turn them all on and off at the same time. Now, the way to get this to apply only to that group is I'm going to hold Option or Alt in between the two layers. So when I hover in between the two while holding Option or Alt, it makes that clipping mask icon. Oops. And when I do that, it will clip those textures only to the group, so only to the numbers. Makes sense. If I want to undo that, I can just hold Option or Alt and click again, and it unclips the mask. Really helpful. I know the first time I learned that, I was like, mind blown, amazing. But we're just gonna go back to just having our blend mode set as color burn. There we go. Where is it? Where is it? There. Perfect. All right, I'm heading out of here. Anne is up next with more illustration and hand lettering. Please stick around. She's amazing, and we have more coming up soon. So thanks, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with tomorrow's challenge. Goodbye.